one of those big home centers, and you find out what big really means. Big means walking down a lot of aisles. Big means getting lost. And when you can't find what you need, big means there are always helpful sales clerks right around the corner.
Not my department.
Next time, drop by Schiller Hardware. At Schiller, we've got just what you need. Schiller Hardware. We're not bigger, we're better.
Need an electrician? Call Dial 1, America's proud workforce.
Dial 1, I need help.
Dial 1, you can count on us.
All the signs are right for the best deal and quality service at Byerly Nissan now, 4027 Dixie Highway.
Byerly Nissan now.
A man who hits a woman isn't much of a man. Wife beating is a crime. A woman doesn't have to live in fear of the man she lives with. I'm Todd Hollenbach. As your Commonwealth's attorney, it's my job to protect your rights. If you are a victim of spouse abuse or know someone who is, call 911. You don't have to live in fear anymore.
For mutual encouragement and support, meet with others who have had a colostomy, ileostomy, or urostomy. We care. Call 561-5671.
WHAS-TV, Stereo 11, Louisville, Kentucky.
The first half this season, the slumping Detroit Pistons were a frustrated team. Even cheerful Isaiah Thomas lost some spirit. But how things have changed. With sizzling Kelly Tripucka and red-hot all-star MVP Thomas leading the way, the Pistons have turned it around, and basketball is once again fun in Detroit. Winning is nothing new to Larry Bird, whose remarkable play may earn him his third straight MVP award. But now the Boston Celtics have more than just Bird. They have depth. Scott Wedman adds offensive punch, and Bill Walton has proved to be the latest link in the Celtics tradition of team basketball. When you've got the best record in the game, things often go your way. But today in Boston, the Celtics must meet the challenge of the NBA's hottest team, the Detroit Pistons. And we've got two teams on the roll today. The Boston Celtics, still with the best record in the league, and the Detroit Pistons here at sold-out Boston Garden. And as you look at the Central Division standings, the Pistons with a club record 10 in a row. They've not been able to gain on first place Milwaukee, however, because the Bucks also have won 10 straight games. And good afternoon, everyone. I'm Dick Stockton, and welcome to the NBA on CBS. This is not a place that any visiting team wants to play, because the Boston Celtics have lost only one game at Boston Garden all year. But Tommy Heinsohn, the Detroit Pistons, are anxious to inflict defeat number 2 on the Celtics. They had such troubles early. They've turned it around. Why?
Well, I think, Dick, that Kelly Tripucka had a bad knee. He didn't play enough minutes. That's come around. He's playing more minutes, getting more shots. They've worked him to the offense better. And also a new concept, twin midgets, Isaiah Thomas and the rookie Joe Dumars, presents different defensive problems to the guards of the teams throughout the league than they normally expect.
Now, the Celtics are healthier than they have been. Kevin McHale, who didn't play against the Lakers, is back. He's not starting. Scott Wedman still is. And usually games between these teams feature the inside play of Boston and the outside perimeter shooting of the Pistons.
Well, I tell you, Chuck Daly is really more afraid of Wedman right now, because you have to go out to play him. It opens up the inside for the guy like Robert Parrish to work one-on-one against Lambeer. So you wouldn't believe it, but he's hoping that perhaps Kevin McHale will get into the lineup so that he can get back to his old defense.
He's the first coach ever to say that, I'm sure. The Celtics have won 2 out of the 3 games against the club so far this year, but anytime you have Larry Bird and Isaiah Thomas on the floor at the same time, you've got something special. It's the NBA on CBS.
The NBA on CBS. Today's game from the Boston Garden is sponsored by Miller Lite. For great taste, there's only one light beer. Dodge, a performance revolution, an American revolution. And by Campo Bonique Cold Sore Gel. It helps stop cold sores from stopping you.
The caravan, a traditional journey, unmerciful as the desert sun. Ah, but now there's the revolutionary Dodge Caravan. With room for heavy burdens or up to 8 people. A 5-year or 50,000-mile protection plan and civilized features like front-wheel drive, which is why Dodge Caravan has no equal under the sun.
Oh, no. You've been here 3 weeks waiting for Halley's Comet?
Yep, and I already started celebrating with a Cole Miller Lite.
Light tastes great.
Light's less filling, too, Tommy, and I can't get filled up. I've been waiting all my life to spot this baby.
Well, how about one for me?
Sure.
Incredible.
What was?
Nothing, Luke. Listen, I gotta run.
Okay, but you're gonna miss it. There. No.
Wherever you look, there's only one light beer. Miller Lite.
When a cold invades your house, get neosinephrine. For stuffy little noses, nothing's more gentle or more effective. For bigger noses, nothing's faster or longer lasting. Let your whole house breathe easier with neosinephrine.
Your resume is fine, but the interview's on the line, 'cause
I feel a cold sore coming on.
Campofonique Cold Sore Gel works on developing cold sores to help speed healing. Campofonique Gel helps stop cold sores from stopping you.
We're back here at Boston Garden, and we'll have the starting lineups for these teams, beginning, of course, with the visiting Detroit Pistons. And they can score. Kelly Tripucka, who's been red hot. Kent Benson playing well. Bill Lane-Bee are the leading rebounder in the league up front. And the twin midgets, Isaiah Thomas and Joe Dumars, as Tommy mentioned. Chuck Daly done a fine job bringing the Pistons back. For the Boston Celtics, they still go with Scott Wedman along with Larry Bird up front, and Robert Parrish is having a fine year, and that smile indicates how he feels about the season. Dennis Johnson and Danny Ainge in the backcourt, and another outstanding coaching job by Casey Jones. The officials working today is Darryl Garretson and Lee Jones. Now, this is a very special day for all of us at CBS because of something earned by my partner, Tom Heinsohn. And for that, let's go to the public address announcer, Andy Jick.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Boston Celtics are pleased to acknowledge today's announcement that Tommy Heinsohn, former Celtics player and coach, has been voted for induction into the Basketball Hall of Fame in Springfield, Massachusetts. Tommy joins 13 other Celtics who have also been so honored. Please join with us in congratulating Tommy for his deserved honor.
He does deserve it. Tom Heinsohn, it took a while, but good things happen to those who wait. And Tommy, you've got to feel great about this. I mean, the best honor you've ever had, huh?
Well, my teammates were all great players, you know, and we never really were out there in the stat department, but I think it's a tribute to the Celtic team of that era who played so well as a team.
And this is the tribute you richly deserve, and they're still on their feet for Tommy Heinsohn. One more, Tommy. Tommy Heinsohn and 5 others elected to the Hall of Fame, and we'll tell you who they are a little later on in the program. Meanwhile, we're getting underway. The Pistons will be in the traveling blue. Bill Lane-Bee will jump against Robert Parrish for the Celtics. Celtics have won 4 in a row, 25 out of 28, and they control the tip. They put Dumars on Dennis Johnson, so that means Isaiah Thomas is guarding Ainge. Benson is on Larry Bird, who goes in with the first shot of the game.
I don't think we're going to see as much running today, Dick, as perhaps we have in the past, particularly by the Pistons, who want to defend less possession, so they don't want to run.
They do when the opportunity is there, but it's not, they don't. Benson hits outside. Benson has started 23 in a row, and the Pistons have lost only 4 of those games, so he's given them solid minutes. Dennis Johnson, who had a wrist problem, Went to the doctor yesterday, shows no ill effects as the Celtics lead 4-2. You talked about the new guard arrangement by the Pistons. How's that work?
With 2 point guards, Isaiah Thomas and Joe Dumars, you really can put a pressure on that big guard of the opposition. He's not used to playing a penetrator like Joe Dumars. DJ is going to be a key man in the defense of the Celtics today.
Bill Laimbeer, who makes his living offensively hitting that kind of a shot outside, ties the ball game up. And here's Larry Bird. Thomas the rebound. So normally we see end-to-end, coast-to-coast basketball, and maybe not so much that today. Off the leg inside, and Benson comes in. Any points they get from Benson has to be a bonus.
Exactly right, Dick. But on that penetration that time by Isaiah Thomas, that's how they're developing their inside game. Make the low-post defenders move, and it opens up for easy passes and offensive rebounds.
Harris got free inside. And we have another tie. By the way, Benson scored 15 points in the first period Friday against Atlanta. Prior to that, he had been in a scoring slump. Tripucka doubled up with Bird and Wedman, loses the ball. Isaiah Thomas told me before the game that Tripucka's the key to the Pistons winning today. Wedman misses. Thomas winds up with it, and it's a 4-on-2 break for the Pistons. Dumars in the corner, and Detroit leads.
The Pistons are an excellent pull-up jump shooting team off the break. They don't necessarily have to take it strong to the hoop.
Chuck Daly, who had problems early in the year, and his future might have been in doubt, but he may be talking again with Detroit about the future in Detroit with the Pistons. Parrish inside scores. Daly, by the way, is a free agent at the end of this year. Parrish has done so much more offensively and able to do that now.
With Wedman in the lineup, Dick, pulls out the defense, and he can go one-on-one against a guy like Laimbeer, who's not going to play a lot of tough defense early for fear of fouls.
Dumars gets the offensive rebound. He's a smart, poised rookie out of McNeese State in Louisiana. Ainge doesn't go for the fake, but Thomas has too much speed. Bird gets the rebound. Lead to Ainge, getting back Tripucka. And Tripucka made Ainge try to earn that play. Good play by Kelly Tripucka. Thomas runs into Dennis Johnson, and they'll call the foul on Isaiah.
A really difficult job on trying to contain a real flea like Isaiah Thomas. You can't go for fakes. You got to keep him in between your knees so he can't penetrate.
Just under 9 minutes remaining in the opening period. Tie score. We've already had 4 ties. Parrish. Dennis Johnson saves it just before it goes over the line. Ainge quickly for 3. He didn't have much time to square up for that shot, and Danny Ainge, three-pointer, gives Boston the lead by that many. Last year, the Celtics and Pistons met in the Eastern semifinals, with the Celtics winning in 6. Tripucka hitting his first outside shot. Kelly Tripucka has been a major factor in the Detroit streak.
Just getting more shots, and they're calling his number on set plays a lot more.
Bird going to call the foul on Kent Benson. From behind, Benson.
Do you or don't you double team Larry Bird in the low post? That's what the Pistons are wondering today, what they should do there, because he kills you with passes when you double team him.
He'll beat you one way or another. Ainge top. Parrish again. They double with Dumars. Rotating, quick shifting defense of Danny Ainge has been in a slump. You wouldn't know it by his 2 outside shots so far, but he has been. But he keeps trucking away with his quickness and his hustle. Thomas with his first point, so all 5 Piston starters are on the board.
You don't contain Isaiah Thomas either. He's got that good outside shot. When you try to take that away, zip, he goes by you.
Dennis Johnson pulls up. Gets the ball. Bird passes to Wedman. Normally that's a chippy for Wedman, and it was a fine pass by Bird. Dumars. Joe Dumars, the 3rd guard in the draft, who has been starting, sending John Long to practically oblivion. And score now is 14-13 Pistons. Largely a half-court game for both sides so far.
All this outside shooting, they can get a 3rd man back on defense pretty easily.
Wedman gets the offensive board. Bird inside. What a play by Bird, moving without the ball. Walden and McHale, how do you like to have those 2 coming off the bench for you?
Unbelievable when those two guys get in the game.
Thomas hits his second in a row. Isaiah had 39 points in Detroit's win over Boston. Larry Bird had 47 in one game for the Celtics against these Pistons. Harris goes strong. Another chance.
As that one-on-one, they're able to develop because the defense of the Pistons been spread out.
Parrish is much more rested at this juncture of the season than he has been in the past because of Bill Walton's presence. 1 point lead for the Celtics. Tripucka over Wetman, blocking out his Bird. Nearly halfway through this opening stanza. Dennis Johnson goes all the way. Laimbeer, outlet pass, 2-on-1. Dumars. And Detroit takes the lead again, 18-17.
Well, they're just pushing the ball at the defense, and nobody's willing to go out, particularly a Bird, and challenge a real tricky dribbler and giving up the outside shot.
Surprise, Washington leading Milwaukee with a 10-game winning streak as Larry Bird has 6 points in the ball game with that outside shot. The Bucks playing outstanding ball with the third best record in the NBA, but their 10-game streak is on the line. Shot won't go, and a foul called against the Celtics. And we have our first time out of the game with 5:33 to go in the opening period. It's been that close.
If you're confident up north, raise your hand. If you're confident in Dixie, raise your hand. If you're sure from east to west, sure is what you love the best. Raise your hand if you're sure.
From the bleachers to the Met, Sure goes on feeling dry, not wet, and helps keep you feeling dry and confident all day, anywhere.
Confident, confident, dry and secure. Raise your hand if you're sure.
I heard Converse made a pair of Bird shoes for last year's MVP.
Yep.
When they made a pair of Magic shoes for this year's MVP.
Okay, Magic, show me what you got.
The Bird Shoe, the Magic Shoe. Choose your weapon from Converse.
When you set out to create the perfect home, start with the windows. The windows more people come home to than any other. Andersen windows, far more energy efficient than ordinary windows, engineered for a life of easy openings, easy closings, finished with a beauty that will endure for generations. Andersen windows and patio doors are built to last, like the homes they're built into.
Come home to quality, come home to Andersen.
Next Saturday, Big Ten powers Indiana and Michigan will collide. Next Sunday, a tournament preview, and later the tournament selection show on CBS Sports.
You watch Larry Bird right here. The Celtics ever alert to stop the fast break of the Pistons. They keep a third man back, one of the forwards, either Wedman or Bird, to protect against the fast break. He never goes even near the basket, even though the Celtics lose possession, and there's a quick thrust up the court. He's back in along with Danny Ainge and now Wedman. The only thing he didn't do was get out and challenge Dumars a little bit, who's going to kill you with those pull-up jumpers. But they're not going to give up layups.
Pistons will inbound. Shooting so far in the game. Both teams shooting well. Detroit out of sight. Isaiah Thomas, who thought about quitting at some point this year when the Pistons were really wallowing, enjoying the game a lot more. Tripucka has a screen from Benson, nothing doing there. Bird is playing like a safety man. He's not really guarding Kelly. And he gives Kelly the wide open shot, and it's short, and a loose ball foul. It's called against the Pistons.
Good blocking out that time by the Celtics. They had a wall of 3 white jerseys there.
Tommy, it looks like Bird is allowing Tripucka to get off that shot.
Well, Wedman's supposed to be playing him. He switched that time. And Chuck Daly wants Bird to play Tripucka because that's the only guy he feels that will make Bird play a little defense.
Knocked away by Laimbeer. It's still Boston ball, and Kevin McHale, who came back from a sore Achilles tendon, comes back in the ball game. He's missed 14 of the last 17 games, but played 26 minutes, or 30 minutes, and scored 26 against the Clippers on Friday night. Ainge misses. He had hit a three-pointer and a long-range shot earlier. Celtics by 1. Laimbeer. McHale the rebound. So McHale in the game. Wedman goes out. Now you're saying Chuck Daly doesn't mind this lineup. Is that right? Ainge hit.
No, because he feels that Tripucka will get Bird's attention defensively and take him out of that team defensive concept.
Okay. Tripucka trying to get free, and Bird is guarding him. McHale is guarding Lambier, and they have Parrish on Kent Benson.
Well, the reason that they've got McHale on Lambier is because they want to take away the outside shot, and they feel McHale can get up closer on him than Parrish can.
Thomas with 6, Dumars with 6, so the backcourt for Detroit leading the way so far. 21-20 Celtics. Plenty of time on the shot clock.
Well, here's the disadvantage to Tripucka, guarding Bird.
And an illegal defense called against the Pistons, and Isaiah Thomas is the guilty party.
A great height advantage over Kelly Tripucka, but McHale is going to be a problem unless he gets blocked out. Good defensive rebounds that time by Kevin McHale.
Larry Bird, 8 points, and it looks like he has his long-range shooting eyes on today. 23-20, the Celtics lead under 4 minutes remaining, 3:54 to be exact. Dumars off the screen, and Detroit staying in the game with their outside shooting.
Well, they have a counter play, a triple pick for Kelly Tripucka, sometimes for Joe Dumars.
Ainge taking a lot of shots today to try to get his shooting eye back. Thomas fouled by Johnson from behind, and that's only the second team foul against Boston.
They are effectively being able to stop each other's fast break because Tripucka is an outside shooter. He makes an easy transition into the defense, and so does Bird.
Normally the Pistons do outscore the Celtics in the backcourt. It's another story up front, though. Going inside, and Thomas breaks free. Good play by Isaiah Thomas.
They got mixed up on their defense, the Celtics. Danny Ainge made a bad mistake.
8 points for Dumars, who's 4 for 4 from the field, and 8 points for Isaiah Thomas, 16 of the 24.
Nobody has been able to effectively contain Kevin McHale. That time they isolated him with no chance of help.
Boston by 1. Under 3 minutes to go. Tripucka against Bird. Bird hits the floor, taken away by McHale. Kevin McHale can handle it and dribble it.
Not too often, though. I'm sure Casey Jones doesn't want to see a lot of that.
A year ago tomorrow, Kevin McHale scored 56 points here in the Garden against the Pistons, the most points ever scored against Detroit.
It has something to cool your face.
Thanks. I needed that.
Something to soothe your face.
Thanks. I needed that.
Something to smooth your face.
Thanks. I needed that.
Something to tone, to tighten, to brace your face and help get you going.
Thanks. I needed that.
You're not finished shaving till you've used Skin Bracer Aftershave after every shave. It has what your face needs. Skin Bracer.
5 minutes.
Even when you got a miserable cold, you got to answer the alarms. People depend on us. So when our department was asked to try Alka-Seltzer Plus cold medicine at home, we said, great, we'll give it a try.
See this nose? Dried it right out. Big job.
I was feeling really achy, but Alka-Seltzer Plus kept me going.
You know, that stuff he had, cleared it right up.
Good stuff.
That's why every firefighter who tried it switched to Alka-Seltzer Plus cold medicine. Fast, effective relief for tough winter colds.
We're your type for memos and manuscripts, love letters for labels and laundry lists. If words are the way you write, we're your type. For hundreds checks, for doctor's orders, for company checks, police headquarters, for offices big and businesses small. We're your type.
Wayman Tisdale and the Indiana Pacers are on the rise. They'll face Charles Barkley and the powerful Philadelphia 76ers next Sunday on CBS Sports.
And you'll be seeing the Doctors still do amazing things. This was Friday night in Dallas. With the score tied, that shot won the game. And watch the Philadelphia 76ers celebrate the Doctor, giving the Sixers a 3-point win over Dallas. Julius Erving, Charles Barkley, and the rest of the Philadelphia 76ers against the Indiana Pacers next Sunday.
Kent Benson has had all kinds of trouble guarding Kevin McHale over the years, even, I guess, maybe in Big Ten days. But he's not going to be able to get any help. There's no room. There's a total isolation down there. No chance for double teams on Kevin.
Thomas goes right by and draws the foul. That was sheer quickness and change of direction for Isaiah Thomas, the all-star MVP for the second time in 3 years, and he'll shoot.
You know, when Isaiah penetrates like that and gets by his man, that forces the back line of the other team's defense to adjust, and they lose their concentration on their own man.
Foul was on McHale. When people talk about Detroit not having a good inside game offensively, a lot of times the guard set that up.
You're absolutely right, Dick, because if Isaiah or Joe Dumars can penetrate and move the back line of the defense, Lambier and Benson and Curtin can get offensive rebounds.
Bird finds Ainge on the other side. Wide open is Danny Ainge. And here's Tripucka with the rebound. The Celtics lead by 2. Pistons trying to tie it up. Earl Cureton filling the lane does. Earl Cureton, who's been the backup power forward after starting the first 12 games of the year, ties the score. 2 minutes to go in the first.
You know, with Wedman being out of the ball game, the Pistons may really have a lot more opportunities to fast break now.
Bird for 10 points now. Larry Bird averaging 25 points a game, the only one in the league amongst the leaders in 5 separate categories. 1:40 on the clock. Dumars finds Tripucka in the corner. And so far, the Pistons have indeed been immensely successful with their perimeter shooting.
Well, when an outside shooter like Tripucka gets his game going, it's tough to shut him down.
Bird is doubled with Dumars and Tripucka. Same play again to Ainge. He's covered. Dumars doing a job on Dennis Johnson, and the foul is committed on Dumars.
You're going to see the 4th man up, the trailer, as they put heat on the Celtics defense, a 4-on-2, and they really spread them out. And the Celtics are a lot slower with Wedman being on the bench right now. The Pistons have the faster ball club out there.
And the fast break points illustrate that. So Dennis Johnson is shooting right now and misses the first one. Coming into the ball game, Jerry Seasting, who has been outstanding, is the 3rd guard for the Celtics, formerly with Indiana. And Vinnie Johnson, who can light up any arena, coming in for the Pistons, replacing Isaiah Thomas. Vinnie Johnson, of course, had that amazing 34 points against the Celtics in the playoffs last year, and then had 35 in November this year against Boston. So I think he likes his team.
Well, still a problem. They got twin midgets. You don't consider Vinnie Johnson a midget, but he plays the point guard position. Good passer.
High score with Dennis Johnson missing both free throws. Bill Laimbeer short. Dennis Johnson the rebound with a minute to go in the opening period. McHale guarded by Cureton. Doubled with Vinnie Johnson, leaving Seasting open. Parrish slaps it down to Bird. And an offensive foul called against Larry Bird, who doesn't like that call.
Here's Bird. Tripucka really gets positioned up on him. Doesn't go for the fake and kind of gives it a active studio job. Gets the Emmy for that one.
That's the first Boston turnover, and I agree with Bird on that one. 40 seconds to go, 14 on the clock. And we have an offensive foul called against the Pistons. Kelly Tripucka his first, and Bill Walton, who's been a hero here in Boston, comes into the ball game.
Detroit has adjusted their defense very, very nicely here in the first quarter, Dick. Depending upon who's been in the game for the Celtics, they've made the proper adjustments.
Bird nearly had his 12th point, in and out, and with a half a minute to go, score is tied at 29. Pistons look to take the lead. Detroit led only once, that at 8-6, but they had 1-point leads throughout this first period. Dumars over Seasting. And Dumars, by the way, Tommy talks about the ability to play both guard spots. Dumars is in there because he's the best defensive player the Pistons ever had, according to Chuck Daly.
And they say he may be getting a little tired, not from offense, but from playing end-to-end defense.
Bird gets free from Tripucka. The Redwood trees, and the buzzer sounds, ending the period with the Detroit Pistons leading 31-29, and off the boards, Bill Laimbeer, who's leading the league, has 9 rebounds to spark Detroit.
Me and Ben love to party.
So, we never miss a Mardi Gras, right, King?
Right, Kong.
Great music, great fun, and great folks.
Hey, they appreciate the taste of a great beer, too. Because in New Orleans, they drink more Miller Lite than all the other light beers put together.
It's the most popular light beer in the whole country.
Okay, Ben, it's time to party. On with your head.
All across America, there's only one light beer, Miller Lite.
It's not just a job, it's an adventure.
Winning in basketball takes control. Winning in life also takes control. I'm Isaiah Thomas, and this is my mom. Together we have everything under control.
That's right. Isaiah have his basketball under control, and I have my high blood pressure under control.
Call the American Heart Association to see how you can help control high blood pressure.
Even when Isaiah was a baby, he was quite a dribbler.
I was?
Yes, you dribble your milk.
The American Heart Association, we're fighting for your life.
Longest winning streak in Pistons history, and these are the victims in the NBA. When the Pistons were 4-15, Isaiah Thomas had a lot of frown, but now he's smiling. But what's ahead for Detroit? I asked him.
I think we have a little bit further to go because the teams we have to compete with are Philly, Milwaukee, and Boston. Those are basically the 3 top teams in the East. And I think we can be a pretty good basketball team, but I think more so than anything, we have to be lucky. Luck will play a very important part in the way we play.
What kind of luck?
One guy on their team getting injured.
He added some other things. That's what he's done so far, but since the All-Star break, Tommy, he's been in another world. 26 points and 12 assists, and he is just playing on a new level.
He is probably one of the few guards in the NBA that can take over the game in the last 2 minutes and still make you win the ball game.
Second period, Dick Stockton and Tom Heinsohn. Kelly Tripucka hits again. Tripucka's with 6 points in the ball game. By the way, we'll be hearing from Pat O'Brien at the half in a very interesting at the half segment coming up today. So stay with us. Walton guarded by Laimbeer. Short with it. And the rebound by Laimbeer. That's his 10th.
Laimbeer has played some very nice defense here in this first half.
Keeps Walton outside offensively, so the big man has to move away. Bird is on Tripucka, who's off to a good start, coming around the screen from Curran. And Tripucka hits again.
Well, Tripucka, Bird has left them all alone. And I think Tripucka, they may have to rethink that situation.
35-29, 6-point lead opened up by Detroit, but McHale, with 6 points of his own, narrows it again. Tight ball game throughout, and in the first period, the Celtics just under 50, but look at Detroit's dazzling 68%. Vinnie Johnson, and it goes for him. VJ, who likes to play against the Celtics.
I mean, they're doing classic textbook running through their offense right now, the Pistons.
And part of their success story. Bird over Tripucka short. Vinnie Johnson knocks it away, but they say it was last touched by the Celtics. So reinforcements. Isaiah Thomas returns to the game for the Pistons. Rick Mahorn comes in. Larry Bird is out of the game for Boston. Wedman comes back in for the Celtics.
3-man guard rotation. They don't go to the 4th guard, the Pistons, which has helped Vinnie Johnson's game.
Curran now to Tripucka, guarded by Dennis Johnson. Foul on the play, so Dennis Johnson is guarding Kelly, who's fouled. By the way, the 3 Piston guards are 10 of 11 from the floor in this game so far.
Well, that twin midgets effect has really paid some dividends here. Penetration, Ames wasn't able to contain that, nor Seasting, and DJ not able to really contain Dumars.
Foul on Dennis Johnson was his second, and of course this crowd used to seeing the Celtics roll, and sometimes it takes them a while to do so. Have nothing to cheer about is the Pistons. Now lead 38-31 as Trapuka makes 1 out of 2. Duke over North Carolina 62-60 in the second half of that Atlantic Coast Conference battle at Durham. McHale guarded by Curran. Couple of fakes, a foul, and the basket will count.
Put anybody you want in the league on him. He's become such a great low post player, nobody can stop him. Watch the fake right here. Sees the double team develop with Trapuka at the corner of his eye, gives it a second fake, and it's in.
McHale has hit all 4 of his shots from the field, so he has given the Celtics something.
Last year, Dodge made a very dramatic announcement. In a very dramatic way. We announced that every truck we build, every full-size pickup, van, wagon, and Ram Charger comes with our 5-year or 50,000-mile protection plan. And back then, we challenged Ford and Chevy to match that coverage. But you know what? Ford and Chevy still fall short. Dodge, still the best back trucks in America. And that's guaranteed.
Ace Paint, direct from our state-of-the-art factory, the quality you expect from Ace Hardware at a price that will surprise you. This month, Ace 5-star Sealing White is Best Buy priced at just $5.97 a gallon. Goes on smooth and easy, spatter-resistant, and leaves a nice flat finish. Ace has all the painting supplies you'll need. Look for our March circular. This Ace trim brush and easy painter roller, another Best Buy for only $2.22. So when it's painting time, remember, Ace is the painting place.
Boys got what it takes. Full tilt, all out, holy flakes. Nothing halfway, nothing sweet. Just a great big crunch of good whole wheat. Yeah, hey, banana, move aside. These big flakes got nothing to hide. Wheaties, Wheaties, good whole wheat. Now go tell your mama what the big boys eat.
A reminder, coming up on Sports Sunday, the American Cup Gymnastics Championships live from Fairfax, Virginia. U.S. Olympic champion Tim Daggett will head the U.S. contingent that will face stiff competition from the Soviet Union, Romania, and China. Coming up at 4:30 Eastern here on CBS Sports. Tommy, this guy has been a forgotten man in the Detroit scheme of things. John Long, a good shooter, but on the pines these days.
Well, the reason for that is that they found something in a 3-guard rotation that Vinnie Johnson with more minutes going to be more productive, and Dumars with this twin midgets type of offense. Long is neither that kind of player. He's a big guard type, and they want to go with the 3 little people.
You're going to beat that into the ground, aren't you?
Well, I'll tell you that it is a throwback. It's a renaissance of old-time basketball. 2 good ball-handling guards. Yeah.
Right, Johnson.
Good ball-handling little guards.
Speaking of guards, not so little, Rick Carlisle's in the ballgame for the Celtics, and Vinnie Johnson with great balance. Suspended in the air scores. So Johnson has 4 off the bench, and the Pistons lead by 6. So Carlisle's in the game with Seasting, and the backup guards in for Boston.
This is their true second unit right now.
Green
for the
team,
Celtics.
right?
Yeah.
McHale fires it, knocked away by Curran, anticipated the pass to Walton nicely. 4 on 3, but palming the ball, called against Isaiah Thomas.
They had an easy one that time. Joe Kelly said, we can't give up those kind of baskets.
9:20 remaining in the first half. Lead is 6 for Detroit. Mahorn battling Walton. Seasting with a good fake on Thomas. Good passing. Carlisle hits. Seasting made that play happen.
Well, Seasting and Carlisle are getting to know each other, and Carlisle should be shooting a little bit more. He's a fine outside shooter.
And a fine game against the Lakers in Los Angeles. Celtics have been getting great results from their bench all the way down to the 10th and 11th man. Vinnie Johnson. McHale the rebound. Outlets out to Seasting. 2-on-1 with Carlisle against Isaiah. Lead is cut to 2, and all of a sudden we're having a fast break affair, and the crowd seems to enjoy it more.
Well, Boston's been having their troubles getting the fast break started. They're getting beaten. The Pistons are getting 3 guys back quickly.
McHale, key man for the boards inside to start the break. Big crowd in the middle for Trapuka. the shot clock. In a crowd, traveling call against Kelly. Tony Campbell, the second year from Ohio State, and got a chance to play early when Kelly Tripucka spent a lot of time on the bench, replaces Tripucka, who goes out with 9 points for Detroit.
Well, Chuck Daly told me, Dick, that the reason Campbell played a lot of time is that Kelly was subject to injuries, and they had to find a guy, either Campbell or Tyler.
Wedman on the board, 2 points for Scott Wedman, and we have another tie. That's our 7th of the game. Wedman commits the foul against Tony Campbell.
And by playing him in the early part of the season, Chuck Daly found out he's got quite a basketball player there that he can give Kelly Tripucka some good rest.
He can shoot, and he's a better defensive player than Tripucka. Off the screen is Vinnie Johnson. Carlisle battling inch for inch, and he commits the foul. Third team foul against Boston, but this time Vinnie Johnson will shoot.
I think the Celtics have a bad feeling about Vinnie Johnson. He has really hurt them over the years. He seems to be able to eat up the Boston guards. And the reason is because he plays like a quick forward. He plays bigger than he is. He jumps over their people.
Remember that 22-point fourth period last year at the Joe Louis Arena? I mean, that was the most electrifying moment that I remember in the playoffs last year, other than the championship. Detroit hot from the backcourt, to say the least. 11 of 13. And a 1-point Piston lead. McHale lost the ball. Vinnie Johnson has Campbell down court. Thomas guarded by Wedman. See where the mismatch is. It's Campbell and Seasting. Trying to post up Seasting. They haven't found him yet. Now they have. Tony Campbell goes up and called for the offensive foul.
I think Jerry Seasting got a little away with a little Stanislavski defense. You know, actor studio.
Bird getting set to come back in for the Celtics with 7:25 remaining in the first half. Dick Stockton, Tom Heinsohn, Pat O'Brien here at Boston Garden. Off the screen, Wedman. Campbell playing fine defense against Scotty. He scored, but Campbell played him as well as you could play him.
He beat him over the pick, and he went back with him, and he got on his shooting hand. You can't do much better than that.
Celtics by 1. 12 lead changes.
This unit for the Celtics has been able to fast break, whereas the first unit was not.
Thomas misses. Walt outlets. Back to Thomas. In a crowd. Thomas puts it on. Passes. And a foul. Carlisle has no chance defending Isaiah Thomas, and he dished it off to Earl Curitin, who will shoot.
I mean, he teases you with the ball, and when he can penetrate, watch him pull the ball off the outlet. He's teasing Carlisle with the ball, slips by him, and look at that nice lay-down pass to the forward. Made the back line move on defense.
The measure of a champion. It's not just a matter of inches, but a matter of degree. It's the determination to give that extra margin of performance that results in being the best. We know we're the Champion Spark Plug Company, and we prove that Champion Copper Plus is America's best. It delivers that extra margin of performance that's the hallmark of a true champion. Copper Plus, America's best spark plug.
It's one thing to say you fight friction. It's another thing to prove it. Kendall Motor Oil did. First, ordinary piston rings were plated with pure gold. Then, a prestigious independent laboratory ran them under stop-and-go driving conditions for 5,000 miles. The results? Look, Kendall protected the soft gold. A remarkable test only Kendall has taken. Now, doesn't that tell you something? Kendall Motor Oil, for protection worth its weight in gold.
Some have it, some don't. Afrin doesn't have it. Dristan doesn't have it. Only Sinex has it for stuffy noses.
Ooh.
That quick feeling of relief from instantly penetrating Vicks vapors, plus a powerful decongestant that opens nasal passages so you breathe freely.
Ah, complete relief.
For hours and hours, Sinex has it for instant and complete relief in regular and 12-hour extra strength.
From Vicks, of course.
U.S. Olympic champion Tim Daggett will face stiff competition from the Soviet bloc and from China at the American Cup Gymnastics Championships next on CBS Sports Sunday.
It's been nip and tuck so far with the Celtics having the lead. And Tommy, the Celtics 14-3 with Scott Wedman as a starter when McHale was out, and even now that he's back. And of course, do you put McHale back? When do you do it, and why do you do it?
Well, I'll tell you this, with Wedman in the lineup, the current defenses in the NBA have not been able to come to grips with the outside shooters on the court for the Celtics. And it's something novel. By putting Kevin McHale back into the lineup as a starter, it'll allow them to go back to their old defense that has been, you know, double down on low post players. But it's an awful difficult decision for Casey Jones.
Yeah, because how can you keep this guy from starting when he is Kevin McHale and people have to watch for that matchup right off the top of the game?
I would, you know, it's tough not to go with a combination that's producing big wins and a lot of fun and a certain style of basketball that produces wins.
Point well taken. Curran misses the first free throw. The foul, by the way, was on Bill Walton. Detroit not shooting well from the line, 4 for 8. And with 6:46 to go, another tie.
Well, Ricky Mahorn is going to end up playing defense against Robert Parrish.
Seasting in the corner. That was a lead pass by Bird. What a pass by Bird. It was like a quarterback who throws to a spot instead of the player.
Well, that's what I'm talking about, the new style defense. They don't know how to really go out and stop the outside game.
But it was the pass by Bird that I haven't seen in a long time that way, just going to a point. That could have been thrown away. Turnover. Celtics have it, leading by 2. Curran on Bird. Bird gets the baseline off. Block and a foul. Coming back in is Bill Laimbeer, who has 10 rebounds in the ball game and sparked Detroit's first period lead. Curran commits the foul.
He got on the backside, I got on the front side.
So here's Larry Bird, and people saying maybe not the best non-center ever to play the game, but maybe the best period ever to play the game.
What I like right now is that this man has reached another plateau in the game. I mean, he's at the plateau right now. He's willing things to happen. He's making them happen with his mind. You know, like the guy that can move a salt shaker on the table. That's what's going on in his head.
12 points for Bird. He's the leading scorer in the game. Dumars with 10 leads Detroit. Dumars not in there right now. Laimbeer back in action with the line drive shot by Bill. He's led the league in rebounding most of the year, and Chuck Daly said gets as much of his ability as anyone in the league. Seasting off a screen, double team, loose ball. Pistons doubling nicely. Vinnie Johnson with Wedman back, loops it to Tony Campbell.
Pistons got a very fast team out there right now, and the Celtics being careless with the ball. It's a lot of easy shots for the Pistons.
Larry Bird with 14 points. And the Celtics break the tie. Thomas in traffic, basket good and a foul on the baseline, and he can put the Pistons in front.
You know, what really makes it tough with Isaiah Thomas is that if he comes down the right side of the court and you push him back to the middle, he can beat you. If you try and keep him in front like Seasting is right now, he gets by you and it frees up his shooting hand. So you're damned if you do and damned if you don't.
Isaiah Thomas now with 12 points. And the Celtics bring back their starting guard tandem, Danny Ainge with the ball, along with Dennis Johnson in there. Bird, 6 of 12, make it 7 of 13. And 16 points for Bird as Boston leads by 1. Winding down to 5 minutes to go in the first half. And they're going to call traveling against Curran, trying to make a move on Bird.
They have had Curran for the last few weeks looking for a shot in that low post, hoping to develop a solid inside game.
Celtics by 1. Their biggest lead was 4. Detroit had a 7-point lead in the second period early. Wedman. Curran knocked out of bounds. When the Pistons beat the Celtics in their one meeting in January, Earl Curran had a great game, 12 rebounds.
He's such an enthusiastic player. I'll tell you, when he comes off the bench, something's going to happen.
He has a championship ring to his credit. He was a member of the Philadelphia 76ers. That was the '83 outfit. 9 on the shot clock. Thomas looking inside. Lane Beer hits. They're coming off the screen just like you diagrammed.
Well, they got such good outside shooters. Lambier can hit from out there. That's a great shot for a center to be able to do that. Parrish can't fight through picks.
To live and die by the outside shot. So far, the Pistons are living with it. Wetman on the miss by Parrish. Banks it in for the Celtics, who lead it 52-51 with 4 minutes remaining in the first half. Ainge trying to go for the ball on Thomas. Try not to get faked out, probably. Lane Beer almost walked. The crowd would have called it. Wild shot by Vinnie Johnson. Bird knocked away. Boy, they're scrapping Detroit today, aren't they? On the other side, Curran. They are playing a scrappy game.
That's the benefit of Tony Campbell. I mean, he's a much better rebounder than Tripucka and almost as good a shooter.
And a better defender. But you need Kelly in there, who has 9 points. Not in there at the moment. Ainge on a runner. 9 for Danny Ainge. 3:20 to go. Inside, what a pass, Thomas to Curran. As good as you'll see.
He's on national television.
That was a classic. 20 lead changes in this first half here at Boston Garden, where the Celtics have lost only once all year. Ainge from Larry Bird. And they're the guys who will be coming in shortly.
When you spread out the defense like the Celtics can do and pass as well as they can, cutters make easy hoops.
Isaiah Thomas, 14. Bird, 16. Who else did you think would be high scorers at this point? Here's Bird again, and he'll go to the line. Larry Bird and Isaiah Thomas, two great players. They lead their team in just about every category. You can't blame Isaiah for not leading his team in rebounds. And we have a timeout, 2:45 remaining in the half. It's been a one-point game through most of the half, and right now the Pistons lead.
Hello, I'm Leona, your automatic teller. Can I help you with a student loan?
No, a car loan, Leona. Fast forward.
Home improvement loan.
It's a General Motors car. Don't get hassled when you finance a new car or truck. Get GMAC financing only at your GM dealer. Is there someone live I could talk with around
Do we
here?
have one of our calendars? This is a France calendar. We also have what they call a print calendar. If I can only find it.
There are 15 premature labor centers in Illinois. The problem can be getting there in time. But in Illinois, a special helicopter's helping. It's made with Kevlar, a super strong, super light DuPont product, which helps make it light enough to carry doctors, nurses, even an incubator, just in case time runs out. For aeronautics, DuPont Kevlar's a major advance. But for certain mothers, it's a major miracle. DuPont, better things for better living.
Set your course. There's a world out there just waiting in the sky and on the sea. Baby, it's pride and history. Baby, seeing all there is to see. Knowing that you're helping to keep us strong and free. It's not just a job, it's adventure.
To give you a glimpse what's coming up at the half, here for a look ahead is Pat O'Brien. Pat?
All right, Dick, thank you very much. Coming up at the half, we'll devote the entire at the half to a disturbing story today, an in-depth look into this week's headlines surrounding the Michael Ray Richardson story. We'll go beyond the headlines, in fact. But first, let's take this time and pause to celebrate for something, because last night at Madison Square Garden in New York City, they honored Earl the Pearl Monroe. A capacity crowd, along with some of Earl's former teammates from that great Knick championship team. Well, they were all on hand to celebrate the retirement of Earl's number 15.
Wherever I go in life, I'll always be a New York Knick. I thank you very much. Thank you.
He is still the Pearl, the Hall of Famer. Let's go back to Dick and our Hall of Famer, Tommy Heinsohn. Dick?
Thank you very much, Pat. And, of course, Red Holtzman, who coached Earl the Pearl in New York, also going into the Hall of Fame at Springfield with Tommy, along with Billy Cunningham of the 76ers, Stan Watts, who coached at Brigham Young, Fred Taylor, who was John Havlicek's coach at Ohio State, along with Jerry Lucas, and Red Mihalik, an outstanding official, going into the Hall of Fame. And if you joined us late, Tommy Heinsohn received a standing ovation from the sellout at Boston Garden.
Let's get back to the game, Dick.
Yeah, you're a little, you're such a humble guy, and we all appreciate that. Shooting is sensational in this period, and for that matter, throughout the game. Bird hits the free throws, and he has 18 points. And we'll be looking at his look for the triple-double, which is double figures in points, rebounds, and assists. That's the triple-double. And right now, he's been in double figures in points for a long time. Three-point attempt, Isaiah Thomas. Bad shot off the back rim. Pistons maintain it, though, with 2:25 on the clock.
Different matchups by the Celtics, Dick. Dennis Johnson, well, he just switched off now, but I think he's going to try and guard Isaiah.
Greg Kite is in the game guarding Lane Beer. He's done well off the bench for the Celtics. Tripucka still hot is Kelly, and he is in double figures with 11. Pistons regain the lead. 24 lead changes and 9 ties in this game. Bird doesn't get a foul. Crowd can't understand it. Neither can number 33, and it's off Benson's hands, out of bounds. Bird shaking his head.
But they have now misused 2 fast break opportunities. They're leading, I think, Detroit 16 points to 8 points in fast breaks. They could have had a lot more.
1:40 remaining in the half. Bird going up over several players, including Lane Beer. And it's 60-59 Boston.
It's go at Kelly Tripucka time right now. He has difficulty guarding low post players.
He's the last of a dying breed of that kind of a small, quick forward. From now on, they'll be 6'8" and can leap. Tripucka, but he comes out shooting. The basket will count. And we'll have a foul on Lane Beer, I believe, away from the basket.